Isn't that amazing that you press the button, it says recording on the cloud or in the cloud? And I often think that these talks we have, these meditations, discussions, exist a little beyond our everyday thinking lives, in a cloud somewhat. So these are called Be the Light Meditations and Talks. I'm Jan Jorgensen. I think my name's in that little tiny corner. And I'm here in Port Townsend in my she shed. And I was looking over there, and you can actually see in my closet. It's a cute little closet. I'm pretending I'm in a French apartment, okay? Makes me feel happy. So today's theme is going to be, how do we create trust in the not knowing or unknown picture of the divine plan? And what is the divine plan? An entirely new vibrational field on earth to live in, entirely new way of being in our physical bodies, entirely new ways to service mankind in basic commodities, transportation, environment. It's so funny because I always have a green book near me, and it's called The Divine Plan. It's by Caroline Corey, and guess what? It's the most cohesive, trustworthy description, just basic structure of the divine plan, that for me, it's almost GPS, railroad tracks, the Bible. So if you are wondering, and even though she wrote this book a while ago, and the divine plan, it's had its moments of being jammed up and not moving ahead. And of course, it's moved ahead because humans have fear of the unknown. And even if they are changing and taking in lots of lights and suddenly have gifts of seeing and knowing and even making miracles, they still are hesitant because they don't know the picture and they don't know what to do. And that is crazy making. So for myself, if I have big questions, I find somebody who I really trust, someone who has never let me down, who has a golden standard of integrity. And even if they're wrong, or even if the shifts haven't happened, they can apologize or have a reason. For instance, Caroline Corey often would say that the geophysical changes that could have happened have been mitigated because human consciousness is driving the divine plan. So if enough people are waking up and making new benevolent choices, less degree of discreation of this reality has to occur through natural disasters. So I want to congratulate you if you're a light worker. I mean, there are a lot of horrific things happening, but it's not nearly the level of the catastrophic changes that would have occurred if less people had woken up, or if more people had stayed asleep into the old fear-based mass consciousness. So if there's this question of, well, how do I have trust in the day-to-day, in my choices? I mean, that's the basic. That's the boot camp of how to be a light worker. But think about, you don't know how to get there if you don't know where you're going. You don't know how to build it if you can't see it in the future. And that is where Caroline has assisted me. So let me just give a very, very quick overview, and then we'll go back to we'll drop into a meditation, and we'll do the personal part, how to navigate, make choices, and have confidence in yourself and interact with other people during all the changes. But what are the ramifications? I just reviewed the book of the divine plan for us as a species. At a certain point of our evolution, based on you and me and the other people before they were born promised to come in and to bring more light expressed in new initiatives. New initiatives. However, the initiatives are just the fuel to funnel us into a realm with our growing consciousness where we can begin to access and demand to access, for instance, renewable fuel sources. There won't be any question, fight, competition, or control issues by oil companies, by car companies in the future. What is best for the planet will be decided by administrators of transportation. How food is grown and stored and allocated won't be competing with different factions. No, it'll be grown with tried and true, most likely organic, sustainable, um, based on food quality for humans, because there will be a benevolent panel of administrators chosen by the people. I guess you're beginning to think that there's going to be a big governmental shift. Aha, and yes, very big. Good for all, harm to none is the name of the government that will be instituted at a specific time of evolution where there's no other choice. We can't exist, we can't move forward in benevolent. It's like the parent who wasn't paying attention and kind of let their kids play on the freeway and suddenly said, oh, my kids are playing on the freeway. Get off that freeway. Never get on that freeway again. We're going to do it this way. So there's been a lot of people in charge, parents, our authorities who've been looking the other way by a lot of nasty, inappropriate, unfair, disrespectful, inhumane decisions and projects have multiplied in our earth plane. So that is going to need a master parent. And sometimes I talk about the different larger administrators of the galaxy, various galactic administrators. There are beings, conscious beings, who oversee the goodness, the directionality, and the movement of the Milky Way, for instance. There are decision-making points of seeing that the energetic movements are harmonizing and beneficial. So as I mentioned before, Earth kind of got off that track, and that experiment of free will is over. The parents are going to step in because the humans here on the team, we answer to the parents, and the parents are very high conscious beings who have gotten together to shift the planet milieu back into workability, humane, fairness, beneficial, etc. Okay, so let's continue. Food, resourcing, and then allocating and delivering. I think Jeff Bezos has done the planet a favor, even though he thinks he has this pyramid down and he's on top and he controls and he gets all the money and does what he does as a human does. The procedure that he has developed to allow for resources to be delivered. Okay, forget the 1 or 2 day things. That is such a bad footprint for the planet. It was a carbon footprint to drive to deliver someone their favorite toothpicks in 24 hours. Okay, it's not going to be that, but it's going to be based on the Amazon distribution system so that everyone, the elderly, the young single mother, everyone has goods. food. Everyone has the the freshest, best food grown, compiled into big. Like in San Francisco, there's the big fruit vegetable market. So imagine that all around the world, working seamlessly with happy people growing food without pesticides, and that food going to these centers, and these happy, it won't be Amazon, it'll be global food on those trucks with sunshine and people meditating on that food so that it's happy and digestible. This is the future. And so you say divine, which is some esoteric thing, but wouldn't it be divine for things to work correctly? For them not to be interfered with and stolen and betrayal, and someone at the top gets all the money? This play, this theater, this drama is being excused from the earth plane. So when they say the meek shall inherit the earth, not everybody wants to play nice. Nice on the playground, right? The meek shall inherit the earth and breathe life into and support as the galactic and the planetary forces of which they are here representing. Let me say that again. You are an ambassador from some star system here representing, you're the ground crew, to bring the light and frequencies through your circuitry so that this merging of the earth back into the web of harmony, fairness, and goodness, which is how creation is everywhere else but earth right now. So take a deep breath. This is the divine plan. We are emerging in our light, and we will be merging with the fabric being woven into the thread in a theater near you soon. I don't know why I say these things. In our lifetime, I believe. I believe and understand, and I collect information, and I do many trades with high-level healers, and I ask, what do you see? And then I coalesce and I put it together and I put it into my own little Jan percentage meter of believability. Does this work and fit in with other things? And that's what I feel comfortable sharing with you on these calls. So it is worth it. It is worth staying inspired. It is worth having hope. However, we don't know the picture. That's why last year, 2022, Spirit just dropped in picture, beautiful images, and I said, quantum future envisioning circles, bringing heaven to earth in 2022. And I do mean that as we emerge and evolve, earth is going to come, heaven is merging or getting closer to earth, and we are going to seamlessly weave it up together. So one of the ways that we can have more confidence as we develop our intuition, getting out of our head stories, which eventually is the past. It is fear-based. Everything's been fear-based. So get out of your mind. We go into that beautiful whole line of balance. We remove every little bit of information. We go to our heart and we access truth simply by going to 0 points of that perfectly woven grid that holds all the bits of information, of potentialities. Remember, this is a co-creation. Even though there are divine directives, the divine government and all of its stations, even where they're positioned on earth, is set. That is set. That is the structure that will assist us to move from the old way to the new way. But how will we look as humans? How will we show up? How do we create the fuel and the excitement and passion for the projects and programs that'll lead us towards believing and building and infusing light and earth-based real manifestations into these divine government structures that are coming in. Well, it'll be a process, and we don't know. Let's talk about what we do know. There has been a stair-stepped, increased vibrational energy coming into the planet. Occasionally, a light worker, because we have free will on Earth, will stand on their platform on Earth and say, I ask and intend to bring in the energy of the archangels. Archangels, they can't come in. There's no free will. No free will unless you're born into a human body. So if humans invite in divine beings as they meditate to help them see the potential futures, to help them figure out something. I had a friend she worked in a cancer research lab. I won't say which one. And she had a Pleiadian, Syrian galactic princess come in and spend time with her and showed her one of the cancer cures. When she took it to her bosses, they said, this isn't the direction we're going in. We want to sell medicines. We don't want to sell cures. And she was fired. So I guess what I'm saying is that information coming in through you can certainly be part of creating flying cars and the things that take no gas oil reserves from the planet that we can manifest through the etheric energetically through thinking and creating. But we're not there yet, okay? So let's get back to the stair-stepped energies coming in. All we have to do is ask and intend. We have all these helpers. So the bigger push, this has been planned for 2,000 years. This is actually one of the plans that to bring more light and to get back on kilter, out of kilter. Atlantis, Egypt, and the time that Christ and all the disciples came, and each time it didn't work. There wasn't enough light to remove the isolation that Earth is right now because it's wonky geometries. It's just not harmonic in its inner workings. And there's a lot of ways to say that axiotonal points are all broken in. But now, the Earth herself's axiotonal points are perfect. Situated around the planet are people like us, light workers, asking and intending to bringing more light, but it's stair-stepped. Believe me, if suddenly you open your eyes and everything's rainbows and you're diaphanous and there's different types of conscious beings, you would die of shock. This has to be a stair-step process so that it's believable, digestible, workable by humans. And occasionally, the artists, I have my artist friend, Ariel Ali, and he paints like these wild, huge, beautiful, diaphanous women with, they're gorgeous. So that's where I think we're going to end up. And so the artists are helping us through their creative imagination move into, wow, that's beautiful. So when we see it later, we won't be shocked. Star Trek and the different things, beam me up, Scotty. I've had an experience and I've seen my teacher departicularize. In other words, my density breaks apart and I, for a few moments, go into just sparkly light. We think, oh my God, I just beamed up to just like with Captain Kirk. Everybody is assisting and supporting this through theater, poetry, dance, movement. I often would say to my teacher, well, who should I work with? She says, Jan, work with the artists. Help them bring forth the pictures of the new realities, okay? So the producers of movies, the musicians, everything in the vibrational milieu, and whatever you are up to that you love doing, stop doing anything you don't like doing anymore. Stop working at Amazon if you don't like it, only if you love it. You must do what you love to breathe life into the divine plan. It's as simple as that. And last week, we talked about that. We talked about the 7 divine principles that give you a hint on your puzzle piece, okay? So this stair stepping, we go up and occasionally big bump, okay? About 1984, it was called the harmonic conversion, and I could feel it. I could feel something was different. There were big jam ups. And again, the flow happens through our circuit boards. There were some humans on Earth who had promised to be light workers and forgot or got sick or just shut down or had interference. And they were clogging up the whole movement because this is based on humans using their will to say yes. But through remote healing and awareness and love and kindness and group work, the clogs in the system got flushed out. Think of it like a big global plumbing system, and everything is moving again now, full speed. It's almost dizzying. The sense of time and space, time. Sometimes certain things in the periphery of your vision seem to be moving. Different vibrational states are existing simultaneously. New colors in the sky. Everything is now having a quickening. It's getting closer to the birth. When I say quickening, this isn't a 9 months birth. This could be a 9 decades birth. But now we're well along into the birthing pains, okay? Well along and moving into a quickening where now, as light workers, it's pretty believable, the whole thing. We've had enough physical changes. We've seen enough. We've learned enough. We've been inspired enough. But still, how do we trust the unknown, especially when 90% of the world is same old, getting angrier and disconglomerated and thinks you're nuttier than ever? Well, that's the truth of it too. But think about it. That makes sense. Natural occurrences. Their thought fields are speeding up, and the thought fields of those hoping and building a new life, that's speeding up too. So this question of the unknown for our own personal life and self is a very significant question. Where do we get the trust from? Okay, we're going to drop into the meditation now. Okay, take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. We ask and intend to set a sacred space. We place our entire energy field in a whole lot of balance. It's a geometric structure. We can release our thinking now. Release all the words. Allow the mental point right in the middle of your brain to come to the 0 point. Letting go. And taking your consciousness into your heart. Notice to the degree that you can take your consciousness into your heart is exactly the degree that you can feel that everything is okay in this moment just as it's meant to be. How could it be anything else? Because we are not in charge. And when our consciousness is residing in our heart, We're in the fabric of truth of the universe because our heart holds the literal connecting telephone lines with the all that is. So when we still our minds, it's almost as if there's no question, because all is well in this moment. So take a deep breath, and as we've learned, if there is some query, question, some vortex that you'd like to move into without fear, fear cannot exist in this throne of your divine consciousness, your soul's throne in your heart. Feel how peaceful, how connected, how sweet, how subtle it is compared to the brass, overwrought world. There's a silence that allows you to hear and see what you choose to see. In this meditation, we know that we can ask and intend to know what is ours to know in this moment and letting the rest go. Because think about it, you got this far okay. You can feel good about this moment. What good would it have done for you to know 5 years before exactly how you'd be right now with all the choices or the houses or the whatever? No, you would have judged it, been crazily happy or angry or whatever. Each moment is to be experienced on your journey as it is. If there is something that is needed for your guidance to see or know, it is your responsibility to drop into your heart and to ask and intend to have clarity. So this is the answer with living with the unknown, is trusting that the story unfolding that is being co-created by yourselves and many other light workers is being orchestrated by masters, divine masters of immense consciousnesses, that you have the ability to link in to that energetic field and to feel held and to feel safe and to have that trust meter go to 1,000. We ask and intend that in this moment we feel that we can attune ourselves to all that is and ask and intend to know what is ours to know in this moment that is appropriate, and it shall be shown. That's what we're asking for. We're asking for the next step to be shown. And in wondrous ways, the transformation of your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, that is coming is unfathomable. Fathom, I'm not sure if I said that right. You can't fathom it. It's so elegantly refined and flowing with all that is in glorious well-being and joy of an everlasting nature. It's kind of hard to wrap around where you're at in this moment, in this dissolving and simultaneously emerging realm. But set your anchor into this feeling of trust, a sense of rightness. Just feel into it. Now, we're just developing the vibration within yourself, and now we're going to have a process to assist us. We ask and intend to connect to our most appropriate spirit guides in this moment. We ask for them to be present here with us now. And just trust they will come. That's how the universe works. You don't have to necessarily see faces or beings, but just sense their presence. Now, whatever question you have or concern of a specific nature, we ask and intend that you send that question out to that beautiful little fractal ball that decodes spiritual information into words and ways that you understand. Send that question out right to the divine being or beings that are appropriate and ask to know, understand, or have clarity on your specific question. We are giving you a process that you can trust that you're not left out there treading water in all this change. So go ahead and ask your question. And so it is. Sometimes the information comes in as a color, a movement, a feeling. But trust that you are receiving that information coming back in through that fractal ball into your heart. And notice how it makes you feel safe amid the unknown, amongst the unknown. Trusting the overall process is overseen by higher forces where your well-being is a priority. You take a deep breath, and this time notice that you feel safer and you're taking a deep breath in a much deeper place. It's almost like you're breathing from your tummy now. Safe in your body, no matter what. Unknown changes, but now you have a tool to ask and intend and have more clarity. You could even choose to have your higher guides or selves be present with you all the time. I know it's true because I had a session with my favorite teacher, and she says, Jan, you are so wanting to be close to divine spirit. She says, you actually have a divine being sitting right in your chest. It's like I had set the telephone line right in my own energy field. No, that's why we send the question out. We don't need anyone else's vibrational field within our own field. We have the tools to ask and to go out have the information then come back in and retrieve it. Not enough room in an energy field for two consciousnesses. Okay, so take a deep breath and notice the tingly feeling of safety, and that your whole body can trust and buy in to the divine plan at a greater degree, just by a simple 20 minutes of discussing some of the parameters, some of the high points, the summary, the cliff book of the divine plan. Beautiful. Okay, so we've instituted some changes in our system today by this talk and meditation. So in a moment, we're going to come back by opening our eyes and come beyond the screen with Zoom. Did I say scream? Screen with Zoom and gallery, and have a little discussion, say hello with the community that's here. So thank you for joining today. As always, it's a joy to be here and to see what comes through that you ask me to bring through etherically. Jan Jorgensen to be the Light Meditations. And the way you can join us is go to the website. I'd love you come anywhere. Anyone can come from anywhere around the world. You just need the Zoom link, and here's where it is. It's in the website. It's listed on the front page of the website. Join the Wednesday Be the Light meditation. The website is Sound and Light Healing Arts.com. There, I did it slow. Okay, we're done with the recording. Good. Stop.